The Lord be with you.
And with your spirit.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke.
Glory to you, Lord.
At daybreak on the first day of the week, the women who had come from Galilee with Jesus took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb. They found the stone rolled away from the tomb. But when they entered, they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. While they were puzzling over this, behold, two men in dazzling garments appeared to them. They were terrified and bowed their faces to the ground. The men said to them, "Why do you seek the living one among the dead? He is not here, but he has been raised. Remember what he said to you while he was still in Galilee, that the Son of Man must be handed over to sinners and be crucified and rise on the third day." And they remembered his words. Then they returned from the tomb and announced all these things to the 11 and to all the others. The women were Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary, the mother of James. The others who accompanied them also told this to the apostles. But their story seemed like nonsense, and they did not believe them. But Peter got up and ran to the tomb, bent down, and saw the burial cloths alone. Then he went home amazed at what happened. The Gospel of the Lord. Whenever something striking happens unexpectedly, and actually whether for good or for bad, we tend to react in confusion. The way that we thought things were, the ordinary, even perhaps the extraordinary that we thought we could be part of or bring about, suddenly things are changed. And we don't know what to do. And in our confusion, we are puzzled. That's one of the words that's used in the Gospel. And amazed. That's another word that's used in the Gospel. And the way that the Gospels were written tends to reflect this kind of confusion. It's in the telling of the resurrection accounts that all four Gospels are absolutely consistent on the empty tomb and the fact of Jesus' resurrection verified through his appearance to the witnesses. And interestingly, they agree in other little details, and sometimes in other details they don't agree. And it looks like those Gospels themselves are reflecting the amazement and the confusion and the puzzlement of the moment. They agree on the important things, and are kind of loose on other things. Now, the two men who appeared to the women, angels, we would say, they certainly were messengers from God. What's the first thing that they said to them? Don't look for the living among the dead. Of course, that confused them even more. And then they said, remember what he told you up in Galilee. Remember the time that Peter professed his faith in Jesus as the Messiah. And then Jesus said, let me tell you what kind of a Messiah I'm going to be. One who will go to Jerusalem, be rejected, and be put to death, and will rise again. Now, when Jesus said that originally, it went right over their heads. What did they do? They immediately started arguing with one another about who was going to be the greatest. 3 times Jesus told them of this, as recorded in the Gospels. 3 times they took it into their own direction. Even to the point where in the Transfiguration, when Jesus gives them a glimpse, a foretaste of his glory, they want to set up headquarters there and rule the world. And God the Father has to say, this is my beloved Son. Listen to him. Aha. Now we've got these 2 angels saying, remember that? Now you know what that means. I think the lesson for us is that we continue in our church, in our liturgy, to remember this saving event of God, the resurrection of Jesus. And no matter what the content of our other memories may be, and they may be for good, they may be things that build us and one another up. Sadly, for many of us, our memories are such that even influence our present and kind of pull us down. No matter the limitations of our other memories, the church keeps alive the memory of this night, because it is this night that gives meaning to all else. It is this night that is the promise that where Jesus is, we shall be.